Costa, let's talk about yours. So what is happening with yours, man? It's like a treasure map.
It's you know, it, it's abstract art. What can I tell
Okay.
you? Uh, because I cannot draw to begin with, and trying to do this with my left hand was even worse. So it's like my version of interpretive dance.
Which I would pay to see, Costa.
Welcome everybody to the first episode of the Superposition Game Show. It's excited to have our show here and
Good.
excited to have all of you.
Awesome.
How are you?
Here.
Awesome. Well, great to have you all. So to give everybody a sense of what the game show is here, and to give you a sense of an intro for me and my background, my name is David Cohen. I am the founder of Superposition, a consulting company where we help our fellow consultants and data nerds navigate the challenges of delivering work as a consultant and to gamify and make the experience of delivering expertise related work more fun. So today's game show is the first of what we hope are many experiences where we bring data nerds and experts like myself to have and play fun games that we talk about the things that make us special and things that we find interesting in our careers. So to start, what I'd like to do is give everybody a chance to introduce themselves. So we'll start from the top of the board and then go down, and then I'll explain the rules of the game. So Milissa, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Milissa Campbell. I work focus in the healthcare analytics space. I spent the first half of my career in industry working with large and small healthcare organizations, and then moved on to the dark side of management consulting, which I fell in love with, and where I met lots of great team members. Really do focus on data-driven health, using the data that we have in our healthcare system to truly improve population health, operations, efficiency, return, et cetera. So I tend to be, I am a non-technical analytic person, so it's important to me to surround myself with more technically knowledgeable people, but it's a career that it's an area that I have a passion for personally, so it's made working a little more interesting.
Awesome. And I forgot to ask you, one of the things I asked the participants to go through is tell us what their secret talent is. So
Oh,
Milissa, what's your secret talent?
I am a packing Tetris phenom. I don't know if that's 15 years of road warrior lifestyle, but I can pack the hell out of a suitcase. I can fit a lot of stuff in a very small suitcase. So I don't know. I don't even have like a super magic trick I can share with you that isn't an obvious one, but for some reason I can cram a lot of stuff in a small suitcase. A body.
Okay, that's dark, but we'll take it.
No, but it's an odd talent that has served me well, I guess.
No, I love it. So, all right,
Sure.
then Paul,
Sounds good to me.
you want to
So
introduce
my name is
yourself?
Paul Jordan. I am currently a senior manager in the healthcare analytics space, and I have been kind of roaming the line between data and healthcare operations and healthcare for many years. I have a development background and healthcare background, and love both and love the mixing of both. And that's kind of where I've sat, is being able to describe, hey, technical guy, we actually need to do X, Y, and Z, and then tell the operations or healthcare person, hey, what you're trying to do is not actually feasible in the next 50,000 years, because you can't actually do that. So meeting everybody kind of in that nexus of places, and getting everybody into a happy page. So that's me. And my secret talent is I am a lover of all things sitcom and TV and movies and things like that. But sitcoms is where I really hone my craft. Is I'm an encyclopedia of sitcoms, from going all the way back to MASH and I Love Lucy up to current day Poker Face and anything in between. And with a specialty, I would say, in Community and Dawson's Creek.
So, what are the three best sitcoms of all time, Paul? No pressure.
One more time, I couldn't really hear you. I'm sorry.
I
Three
said,
best
what are the three
sitcoms of
best
all
sitcoms of all
time.
time?
Um, I'm actually going to go MASH, Living Single, because it was a better done version of Friends, and I will get all the heat for that, and I'll take all of it. And third, there's so many that I could stack because Boy Meets World jumps to mind because it's a sleeper hit and takes place in my beloved Philadelphia. But uh, Boy Meets World or Fresh Prince. Fresh Prince is my all time favorite. I know it's everybody gets the way in.
I love it. Awesome. Thank you so much, Paul. And then certainly not last but not least, Costa, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Costa Cassis, and currently I'm the CTO and co-founder of Future Era AI. We're focused on bringing AI to businesses in general. First use cases are with healthcare because that's a space that I grew up in, that I cut my teeth on. So the overall idea is that we're trying to cut out the middleman. How quickly can we get the data and insights that people need to the people that actually need them? So, but been in technology for way longer than I want to admit. Healthcare for just about as long, and now kind of out on my own and doing my own thing.
Awesome. And it says here you can play the cello, so you had a story behind that. What's the story?
Yeah. So I've always loved the cello, and I had always had it in my head that one day I was going to learn how to play. And one night I was scrolling through Amazon. There may or may not have been drinks involved, and decided to order a cello. So since the cello showed up like 2 days later on my front door, I figured, well, now I have to learn how to play it. So I did.
Amazing.
It is.
Well,
That's
that's
amazing.
awesome.
That's a good story.
And just like all these folks, obviously, all of us here know each other. So I've worked with all three of these folks in the past, and they're obviously wonderful people that have a wealth of knowledge and expertise in the data space, but are also really, really fun people to be around. So would encourage you to reach out to them and get to know more about their work. But also, if you want to join our show in future episodes and highlight the things that you're great at and the things that you're passionate about, would highly encourage you to do so. The point of this game is to showcase the things that make us data nerds special and real and meaningful in our work. So I'm really happy to have you, all three of you, and really honored that you'd be guests for my first show.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. We ready to play the first game?
Let's do it.
We'll do it.
Okay, awesome. So for the first game, what we're going to do is draw our careers. The way what I'd like to do here is effectively play Pictionary, right? So for each of you, you each have a long background in the data world, and obviously in different ways have progressed through all the different parts of what it means to be a data nerd. So what I'd like you each to do is, in the squares that are next to your name, draw what your career is. So you get one picture per square. So each of you will be drawing one. The catch here that I didn't tell you about is that you actually only get to draw with your non-dominant hand.
I'm not good with
Oh
my
my
dominant hand. I'm
So
not good with my dominant hand.
What's that? That's the point. So it'll be even worse. So what I want you to do is, if you're right-handed, draw with your left hand, and if you're left-handed, draw with your right hand. What I'm going to do is set a timer for 3 minutes and let you draw as much as you want. There are no rules here, so you can draw on each other's boards. You can kind of mess up each other. I don't really care what you do, as long as you draw something that tells us what your work is and what you've done over the course of your career. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm setting a timer. Go ahead.
Oh God.
But I'm watching you.
Can't. The mouse doesn't work that way. How do I? Okay. Just put a big
It helps
zero.
to uncover the pencil tool.
Oh yeah, the pencil tool's on the left side.
Dagnabbit. Thank you to whoever.
I love Costa's drawing. We're gonna uncover whatever this is. Ooh. That's not that bad, Paul. I feel like this is better than I can draw with my dominant hand.
Right?
There's some stuff that is pure accident. It came out okay.
Oh my God. All right. All right. All right.
I told you there would be plot twists.
You can tell it's a straight line if it's curvy. There. These remind me of the drawings that come home from school where you go, it's beautiful. What is it?
You mean all the pictures I gave my mom for like 5 years are not beautiful? They're not the best drawings she's ever seen?
Which I have organized in individual year-by-year folders at the top of a closet.
You know your kid's gonna see this, right?
Yeah. Oh, he knows. He's an only child. He's so horrified.
All right, you guys have about a minute left, so make sure you get your drawings in, add anything. As a reminder, you can draw on each other and you can use color, so go as crazy as you want.
But can I use my right hand when I draw on other people's?
No, you cannot use your right hand.
Oh.
Oh,
What in the world? I love
I'm
it.
going to take off I don't know what I just did, but that's what you get for making me draw with my left hand. My right.
I'm gonna fix this real quick.
Yeah. What the hell?
Thank
yeah.
you.
Just delete that. I'll re-put the smiley face.
All right, we have about 5 seconds left, so go ahead and finish your answers.
It did it again. I don't know what I
Oh,
did,
boy.
but I'm
Oh
sorry.
my God. All right. So the way this game works is that I will score your drawings based on how great I think they are, just objectively, and then also how accurately they describe your career based on your answer. So the points three here don't really matter. Like, I will make them up and give you as many points as I feel like giving you, and I will take them away as quickly as I give them as well. So make sure your answers are good.
He giveth and he taketh. Okay.
All right, so let's start at the top here. Milissa, tell us about your masterpiece. Like, how does this describe your career?
I have 3 elements of my career drawn here. Up in the top is a heart around a bunch of people because I have been fortunate to work with teams that I genuinely love, like have a personal connection to, care for, invested in their career, maintain relationships. So that's people in a heart.
Okay.
This one, this jagged line down the middle, that was supposed to be a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs about things working out, things not working out, and kind of some unexpected. Should put some more twists and turns in there because, you know, even the advice I gave my son as he started his career is pick a direction to walk in and just, it's going to take you places you didn't expect. And so I think my career has definitely, it's been more challenging as I've gotten older, but I've been fortunate to have opportunities presented that I probably wasn't qualified on paper, and directions I didn't expect to go with a political science degree. And this last one, so where the yellow is supposed to be a wall. And that's me banging my head on the wall because anyone who works in healthcare data understands that it is a head banging experience. And I think after 30 years of being in this field, and we are still trying to solve some of the same problems we were 30 years ago, it's a little frustrating. So those are the elements of my career that I can draw with my left hand.
Okay, I think that was a very good answer, so I'm going to give you 100 points.
Yay. Of course, I'm the first one. That just means anyone else can go up. So I don't know how excited I am yet. We'll see.
Well, we'll see. Is 100 points too much or not enough? I guess we'll
No, it's
find out.
perfect as long as everyone else gets less.
There we go. Paul, you're up next. What's going on with yours, man? It feels like
It
there's
would
like people
seem that
fighting
way.
in this picture. What is that?
But this actually kind of talks to what Milissa was talking about because I felt like for the majority of my career up until the last year or so, I made a lot of really time-intensive, great things, displaying things on a computer so somebody could print them out and talked about them. So making really good reports and blending data together that was awesome. And then being told, yeah, so let's print it out so we can give it to somebody else to talk to. And so that was the frustrating part of healthcare. And it's a lot of business, but healthcare is what I'm familiar with. Of, hey, we need all these reports that can be immediately updated and give us the greatest insights and information as soon as we get it, and we're going to print it out and then talk about it 3 days later. So that was the printing out of what that was. The green provides an interesting contrast. I don't I don't know where that was going.
So what I'm going for on the green is that was supposed to be a smiley face because Paul is one of the happiest, smiliest people that I have ever worked with. And that has been quite lovely and fabulous to have on a team. And, Paul, we're 2 or 3 teams in at this point. So that was supposed to be a smiley face, not whatever the heck that looks like.
Yeah, well, I will definitely second that. So if you guys have ever had the pleasure of meeting Paul, you'll know that he's one of the most amazing people to work with and one of the greatest influences to have on a team. So I'm happy to have you here, Paul, and thank you for sharing that. Perfect. All right, so I guess let's pick right back where we were. So what we were saying is that you, Paul, we were complimenting you. So amazing disposition and thanking you for your friendliness and everything that you do and being the person that you are.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I hate that it it kind of dropped out right in the middle of that. But thank you, and I take that into my career. It's actually something that I learned working at Wawa, which is a sandwich and grocery convenience store in the Northeast and kind of going down the East Coast now. Um, you just provide service with a smile and make the people around you feel good, and it becomes a greater working environment, even
So
in the tough times.
if you've spent even 5 minutes with Paul, you will know he is the biggest Wawa stan in the planet, even though he's wrong and Buc-ee's is objectively the best gas station on the planet. But anyways, we're moving on.
Uh,
Costa, let's talk about yours. So what is happening with yours, man? It's like a treasure map.
It's it's abstract art. What can I tell
Okay.
you? Because I cannot draw to begin with, and trying to do this with my left hand was even worse. So it's like my version of interpretive dance. Um,
Which I would pay to see, Costa.
um, so what it's supposed to be is it's supposed to be an Ouroboros, right? With me sitting in the middle trying to extract the mouth from the tail when
Okay.
it comes to data and healthcare.
I see it.
And you see it? Yeah.
I see it.
And the red is the pain and misery of banging my head against a keyboard. So that's
Man, you guys are also like what? It's like your career is just like banging heads against keyboards.
Well,
a lot of ups and downs, right? A lot of ups and downs.
All right, I think
absolutely.
what we'll do is since Paul dropped out and he was able to get back in, he'll get 200 points, and then Costa, because I want Milissa to catch up, you get 150 points because I'm even.
All right, let's see how this is going.
So Milissa has to catch up. So how do you guys feel after the first activity? Who do you think had the best drawing?
Me?
Okay.
I think
Probably
the
Paul.
explanation
We
for this was
actually
probably
don't hit.
the best.
I think what Costa was trying to draw was the best, yes.
All right, we'll
But
give
to
you
your
an
point,
extra.
David, the theme there, right? I mean, we're all in a similar field or the same field, and so it was interesting. The similar theme is it's an area where we've spent a lot of time, that we've stayed, obviously, because we care about it, but that it has had some frustrations.
Yeah, and I think that all of us here know each other, right? And we've worked in the same world for a long time. So for the listeners, all of these folks here are either longtime consultants like myself, or they've been in the healthcare space for a long time in one capacity or another. So we've all worked in an industry that is, largely difficult to change or slow to change, and is in many ways hard to navigate. So there's obviously a lot of frustration in both how the industry is, but also in our ability to affect change in it. But thank you guys for sharing that.
No problem.
Jolene came to say hi.
Oh, hello.
true.
We have a guest star.
Jolene is the
Melissa
younger
gets like,
female who came into our world and distracted the attention from the older female. So
I
that's
did promise you you would get extra points, so you get 1,000 extra points for Jolene appearance.
ready.
So thank Jolene.
All right, Jolene. Now we gotta spend our winnings.
All right, are we ready for the next activity?
Let's do it.
Yep.
All right,
Let's
so
do
I
it.
explained this to you guys beforehand as well, but for the audience's sake, the name of this game is Truths, Lies, and Statistics. So you guys have played a variation of this game before, Two Truths and a Lie. What we'd like to do here is effectively have you guys put in each of the stickies 2 things that are true, so 1 per, and 1 thing that is not true about you and your career. So what we're going to do is after you each put down the things that you want everybody else to guess, I will have everybody else guess as well. So you'll get 3 minutes to put down 3 things about your life that you want others to guess, and they may or may not know about you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Think
but-
so.
Okay, go ahead. Set a timer for 2 minutes here.
2 minutes?
Yes.
Oh, that's not right.
All right, I'll add another minute. You get 3 minutes. And again, these can be personal and they can be professional, so it's up to you what you go for here.
Well, the first two I picked were personal, but now I'm trying to keep it professional.
You can do both.
I don't like people can see.
Am I the only one that couldn't figure out how to type?
All right, just double click the sticky.
I think you just click on the sticky.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, the funny part about this is that I know you guys very well, so I kind of know which ones of these are not true.
Okay. Think I got it.
10 seconds left, Costa. Here for a second. So while Costa is finishing up, so the point of this activity obviously is to get to know each of you guys better. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask you to explain at a very high level your truths and lies. Don't say whether they are true or not, obviously. And after you explain what they are, I'm gonna have each of you guess whether they are in fact true or not. The twist for this activity is that I'm actually gonna participate with you. So after each person goes, we will vote on the things that are true and the things that are not true for each person. And if you guys match, if we get it correct, then you get extra points on top of the points that you already got for the creativity of your answer. I'll explain that in a second again, but does that make sense? All right, Milissa, explain your answers. So what are your 3 facts about yourself?
I forgot. One, I almost always have a side hustle, not for necessarily for money, but for learning or for interest or for distraction. I once helped a client move, and I used to start meetings with update karaoke where team members had to sing their update to a song.
Okay. So then, Paul, what are your 3 answers?
So I went a little bit more personal and then moved into client related stuff. One was my grandfather was a driver for Eleanor Roosevelt. 2, I'm a cycling enthusiast, and then 3 is I once spent 21 hours on a client site.
You forget, some of us were there with you.
I thought you meant with his grandfather. I'm like, what?
Oh, no. Well, that too. I am older than all of you.
Costa, what are your 3?
I've started 3 companies. I was a CIO, and I can code in 7 different languages.
Those are good.
Okay. Awesome. So what we're going to do for each of these is obviously you can't guess for your own, but as I said, each of us will get to participate and try to guess which ones of these are true. So what I want you to do is to grab a sticky. So I'll put it here next to Melissa's to start with. And what I would like you to do is to put your name down on the one that you think is a lie. So if you think it's not true, go ahead and put a sticky down with your name next to it. The way this will work is that Melissa will get points if we don't guess it correctly. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then the rest
Yes.
of us, if you match my answer, you will get double points. So if I get it correct and you don't, however, you will lose points. So make sure that you guess correct.
Sounds good.
So do we each need to post it? Do we need to?
Yeah, so we'll start with Melissa's first.
Okay.
So I guess, Melissa, you just watch for now. And then
Yep.
Costa and Paul, I'll create one for you. That's Costa. That's me. That's Paul. So move the sticky to whichever one you think is a lie. Okay, Melissa, which one is incorrect?
Paul and David got it. I helped who was the CEO of Move.
So I expect you to tag in this video and
Please
tell
don't.
them that.
Actually, I just realized saying was probably not wise, but I was
Oh,
stranded
boy.
in Nashville. I was stranded in Nashville because of weather. And
You want
I
me
was
to
like,
bleep that out for the final version, or?
the name, yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. Perfect. So I think
I
Go
will say, knowing Melissa, that was extremely difficult to choose from.
Melissa
I could
Melissa is
completely
mysterious,
see
man.
that.
She contains multitudes.
I have been written up for hosting Office Olympics before, so it's not.
Also, do you want to tell the audience about your moonlighting as a bartender as well?
Everyone worried about me. I decided I wanted to learn how to bartend, and the distillery in town was looking for someone and didn't mind training me. So I was working on Saturdays and at a craft bourbon distillery. Bourbon's a hobby of mine. So I got to spend 6 hours making money and talking about bourbon and learning how to bartend. So I did that for a while.
That's
And
awesome.
then after a while, when you're working 60 hours a week, a side hustle starts kind of draining the pot. But I worked at a jewelry store when I was traveling a lot. I've had Etsy stores. I've always got something going on to keep me busy, or that I want to learn about, or that I want a discount for this at the store.
Okay.
So,
Well, so in that case, I did promise some points here. So Melissa, you do get a small amount of points. I'll call it 10 points because Costa did not guess correctly what your answer was. But
Yeah, but
Paul
in
Paul
my
did.
defense, right? In my defense, both you and Paul have been on Melissa's team before, right?
Right.
Melissa and I have been colleagues.
Sister.
Yeah.
And I can see, I already knew she always had side hustles,
Right.
but update karaoke, 100% something Melissa would do.
I'm
So,
not gonna
fair
lie,
enough.
it will
Exactly.
be part of my next job. I'm just saying.
However, I do still have to take some points away. So for now, I'll just take a minor amount of points away, Costa, because you're right. You're correct.
It wasn't off-brand for sure.
It
No,
is very
not at all.
Melissa coded to do update karaoke. Okay, so let's try Paul's answers. So Paul, as you know, don't participate in this one. You're just waiting for everybody to give their
Hands
answers, and then we'll see. Okay, everybody, let's try to guess which one is not true out of Paul's answers here.
Oh. Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. Why can't, oh,
Yeah,
I'm
same.
trying to do it on this screen. Sorry. Sorry. I'm coming. You know what? I'm gonna go rogue.
Okay, well, Paul, it seems that Costa and I don't have faith in your cycling capability. So which one's incorrect?
So you guys nailed it spot on. I actually don't know how to ride a bike. Something my wife tends to remind me of every summer, especially when I'm on vacation in places where
I
you can
figured that
ride
was the
around an
good
island.
twist. Yep,
But yes, I cannot ride a bike. Uh,
I
but
love it.
the other two are very fun. Melissa did. Melissa was with me one of those nights because I don't think it was just one where we were on site for 21 hours, had to
Yep,
be there before 7 and could not leave till after 7. And I think the only day I did that was the first day
right.
because I didn't have access to anything.
It was
Yeah.
11 o'clock every.
And and then my grandfather he went to Bethune-Cookman and uh, was actually recruited by Mary McLeod Bethune and who was friends with Eleanor Roosevelt. And during college, one of his jobs was driving them around. And so he was driving Eleanor Roosevelt around.
I thought that probably was the true one, but I was like, cycling seems to be the twist, though. I overthought it.
Yes, I do plan on learning. It'll be a surprise to her for this summer.
Okay, I
Cool.
feel like despite the fact that we did guess correctly, I'm gonna give you extra points for, at least there is the intention to try cycling, so we respect that. And then Melissa, you do have to lose some points, unfortunately, because you did get it wrong.
Yeah, rules are rules, even if they're made up.
They don't make any sense, but they're my rules, so we have to stick with them. All
It's
right,
your
let's try
show.
Costa's. Yeah, so I make the rules, really. Let's try Costa's answers here. So, Melissa and Paul, whenever you're ready, go ahead and pick the one that you think is not correct. Yeah, this one seems weirdly specific.
Yeah.
The middle.
Yeah.
Okay, Costa, whenever you're ready, let us know which one is incorrect.
All right.
Okay,
I followed the crowd. Go, Paul.
so you can code in 7 different languages? What are they?
Yeah. Huh? What are they?
Yeah.
Okay, so HTML, CSS, Go, Python, Flutter, C++, and Java.
I'm gonna put a little counter on the screen that says every time that you mention one, just to count that it's 7. I
I would
actually
have
am really
I would have been
impressed.
impressed if you had said COBOL. I'm just saying.
Um, Funny enough, I had to take COBOL when I was in college.
That would make
I,
sense
I don't
time-wise.
remember any of it. I
Yeah.
don't think I could print Hello World now,
Yeah.
but
Well, in this show, we always reward multiculturalism and multi-language learning skills, whether they're programming or otherwise. So you get a lot of points here. Let's do 1,000 points for Costa.
I like it.
However, Paul, I do have to take off points because you know the rules. So what are the
Paul
3
got it
companies
right.
that What's that?
Wait, I got it right.
Paul
Wait,
was
Paul
right.
got it right. Never mind. Paul gets a lot of points. Oops. All right.
He's like,
I
wait,
don't know the rules to my own game. Melissa loses points again.
again. Do I have to go get Jolene? I've got Harley Quinn under the desk if I need to go get her.
Yeah, you need to. That's what for the last one. You need to bring Jolene back. So what are the 3 companies that you started, Costa? I'm curious.
So I started Cases Consulting back in 2015, and that didn't work out so well for me. It just never went anywhere. And then third company I started was really an LLC for my wife. So we had a way to track all the inventory and assets and taxes and everything for all of her zillion side hustles. And then the third is Future Era.
Okay. Well, very exciting. So thinking through all the answers here, which one surprised you the most? Who do you think had the best, like most surprising answer?
They're all pretty good with how well we know each other. I'm pretty impressed with all of us, quite frankly, because it was harder to do when people.
It is. I don't actually remember the side hustles, the many side hustles of Melissa. I knew 1 or 2, but I didn't know it was a consistent thing, and that was kind of cool.
It's. I just get the eye roll at home now. Like, you're gonna do what? Okay.
So I guess then in that case, let's do this. For opportunity for bonus points, I'm going to give you 3 things about me, and then you
Okay.
get to guess which ones are true.
Wow. Okay.
And so the winner will get an extra 1,000 points. And if you all get it, then you'll get bonus points. So the 3 things about me. 1, I was a Japanese Boy Scout at one point. 2, I was once ran over by a former NFL football player at a college football game. And then 3 is that I once gave a whole presentation at work in Chinese. So try to guess which one is true, or rather not true.
Okay, I have a guess.
All right, Melissa, you go
I
first.
do too.
Number
hold on.
3 is my guess.
Same.
So number 3, you think that I give a
Presentation in
presentation
Chinese. Yeah.
Okay. Paul?
I'm also going with the presentation in Chinese.
Costa?
Same. Same.
Okay, that's kind of lame because that's the incorrect one. So you all get points. So I'm going to give you guys double points.
I could see
But
you
yes.
as a Japanese Boy Scout. I thought that one was.
I was. I'll have to have my parents post a
Yes.
video or like photos of me as a Japanese Boy Scout in the comments so
Yes.
they can, they can see it. Everybody can see it.
Yes.
That's awesome. Did you make it to Eagle Scout?
No, I was not in the Boy Scouts long enough to make it to Eagle Scout. I'm also not nearly committed enough to it.
He was too busy trying to get them to become operationally efficient.
But aren't you an Eagle Scout, Paul?
Yes.
Did,
That's why I asked.
what's the story there? What did you do for your project?
Oh, my project was actually helping to rebuild a playground at my elementary school. I went to a super small a Quaker elementary school in Pennsylvania, so Plymouth Meeting Friends School. And if you know the Quaker schools, they're very, very kind of hippie forward, but they encourage a lot of community service and things like that. So I just brought it to the school and mixed that with the Boy Scouts, and that was my Eagle Scout project. And
Very
it was right before I graduated high school, so finished up and came out.
Very cool.
Okay, that's amazing. All right, so let's do our final activity then. So this final game is called Let Your Dreams Be Memes. So the point of the game here is that I want to end on a good note. So to do that, I want to talk about both the way your work or your industry has been so far and what you expected and want it to be in the future. So I asked each of you to open Giphy, the GIF finder, because what I want to do here is allow you to answer this question only with memes. So I'm going to ask you to pick 2 memes. One to describe the way that your industry has been to date. So for all of us, or for most of us here, it's the healthcare industry. and then a second one to show what it should be moving forward. So what you want it to be from here on out. Does that make sense?
Yes, I didn't know the two. I found one and then, okay.
So I'll set a timer and let you guys put them in. So just basically copy the GIF and then put it on the board, and then we'll discuss what they are. And obviously so I'll give out 2 awards. We'll do the best answer, so you can answer the prompt, and then we'll do the funniest one too. All right, I'll set a timer so you can.
So we need it today and tomorrow.
Correct.
You muted me. Do we copy it or download it? Or what do we do?
No, copy it. Just like Paul. I think that's Paul that did it. Yeah, just copy it over. Then as a reminder, you also want to go for one that's in the future. So the ones on the left should be the one that is currently like the industry that you're working right now, and then the one on the right should be what you want it to be.
Oh my gosh.
You okay there?
No.
What are you having trouble with?
You asked me to, I'm not having trouble. I'm just I'm not accomplishing what I wanted to accomplish. It's okay though. I'm on it.
It's okay. There's still time for a comeback.
Is there though? Okay, this is a little lame, but I'm gonna go with it.
You have about 30 seconds.
Okay. Here. I need. Do I just do a copy paste? Yeah?
Yeah.
Or I download?
No, copy paste. Sorry, that was Costa's question earlier. Just copy and paste it.
Sorry.
We'll do an extra minute here.
Thank you. You know who you're working with.
Get mine to move.
I think you have to like hover over them.
My today one might be a little dramatic, but
I think it's because you may have to open it, Paul, to get it to actually paste as a GIF.
Gotcha.
Maybe. Okay, Melissa. Time's running out.
I'm there. I'm there.
Yeah, I'll give you 30 extra seconds.
I've got them saved. I need to load them now.
Okay, we'll wait for Melissa to finish up here.
How surprising when it's a technology thing.
Yeah, I don't. So Costa, how did you get yours to actually play the GIF while you were? Because Paul
No
was
idea. Couldn't
he
tell you.
just did it.
I mean, it was copy and paste, literally. I don't know.
So did you make that, Melissa, or did you? Was there like somehow a pre-canned like health equity?
I
GIF?
did. I made that one. I was trying to
Okay.
make the first one because that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted to say something different on the first one, but it's close enough.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you extra points because you went to a meme generator. But go ahead and explain yours.
So I think we've talked about this a bit, right? Between analytics and the healthcare system, it's broken. And while it's probably not realistic, blowing it up and starting from scratch is a fantasy idea, right? So it needs a major overhaul was my goal in that one. It just needs a major overhaul. So that's a today. And then tomorrow, and health equity is bigger than just health equity, right? It's genuine population health. It's working towards wellness instead of treating sickness and things like that. So, oh my God, health equity.
And I know health equity is something that you're very passionate about and have always been. So that's obviously very exciting here.
Yep.
Cool.
So,
Then, Paul, do you want to talk through yours?
oh, I like that.
Sure. So the first part of my career is what I've preached to a number of places. It feels like you're in that DMV line with the sloth that's just moving as slow as possible, because I always tell people, if you look at the bleeding edge of technology, subtract 10 years from it and you're going to hit healthcare. And
Right.
that is the thing that has driven me nuts, because there's so much out there that can help with not just operational like reporting and stuff, but just with treatment, diagnosis, with health equity and all that other things. And what I'd like to see, and what I think we're starting to turn the corner around, and what you guys are helping with, especially the more you jump into the AI space, so looking at stuff like Costa's doing, it is getting there, and I think it's going to get accelerated. And so that's why I picked Quicksilver, who's speeding through, and I wanted to just speed through, catch up, and help save everybody like he does in X-Men. And that's why the second GIF is where I hope we're going, and I can see we're slowly getting there.
Yeah, I love it. And Quicksilver is one of my favorite superheroes for what it's worth. So great choice. So I'm going to give
Awesome.
you a bunch of points here as well.
Woo!
Great answer. All right, Costa, your turn.
I think the first one's pretty self-explanatory, right? That's just the healthcare system in general. Dr. Cox, he's the best. Just
Keep with the
bang
head
his head
banging
against the
theme.
desk and off. Yep. And then, I think it should all be frictionless. And you can tell I have kids because my choice was Baymax. I mean, who doesn't love Big
Yeah.
Hero 6? I mean, Baymax is lovable and cuddly and just takes care of you, and it's frictionless.
Love a Big Hero 6 reference.
Very much.
All right, so which one did you guys like better? I'm going to give Costa 300 points here to make it very close.
I think I would do a combination. I would do Paul's
Mhm.
DMV one and Costa's Big Hero 6 one.
Well, and I think the interesting thing is that all of you being in different parts of the same industry, obviously there's like common themes across the ones that you came up with. Like there's no surprise that like all of us understand the healthcare world to be kind of ripe for growth, and no surprise that each of you interpret that slightly differently.
100%. I still
So
like Mara McGurk.
yeah, I think I'm going to give Melissa extra points. So that's going to be the tiebreaker, Melissa. You went above and beyond, and you went to an image generator to actually create your memes. So I'm going to give you extra 100 points for that to win the game.
Which is, even more surprising given my technology. Oh gosh.
Well, I did tell you there was a comeback opportunity, so there you go.
Yes, okay, let's do that.
So, all right. So we've actually completed all the games. So thank you guys. Congratulations on actually doing the. Let me see. Do I have a clapping? So normally what we do here is I would give the winner of the competition 5 minutes of uninterrupted time, and I did promise you all that. But given that it's the first show, and to thank you each for joining us and for being the guinea pigs for this concept for the game show, I actually want to give each of you 3 minutes, of the ones that did not win, to also give a talk about the things that you find interesting. So for the audience, the game show will always end with an opportunity for the winner to talk about or plug whatever project they find interesting or want to showcase to all of you. So I guess Paul, let's start with you. What is something that you're passionate about, something that you want to highlight to the audience?
So I thank you very much, one, for inviting all of us. This is a fun time. This is a good time, and a great showcase of everything that you have to offer. So, but with my couple of minutes, I did want to highlight a couple things. I'm super passionate about, like I said, bringing healthcare into the future and bringing all of the data and all the things along with it. That is super highlighted by something that happened to me this past weekend. My grandfather, who I intentionally brought up in my Two Truths and a Lie, um, was honored because he was a Mumford Point Marine. Mumford Point Marine is pretty much the Marines' answer to the Tuskegee Airmen. It was the first black Marines that were recruited by the Army when it was still segregated. They could not train in Camp Lejeune, so they trained in Mumford Point, North Carolina. And he was honored with the Congressional Medal of Freedom. It was originally the gold Congressional Medal. Um, he That was originally given to all the living Mumford Point Marines in 2012. He had passed in 2009. Now they're going back and posthumously actually giving them the medals. And so I just wanted to bring light to them and how much it and experiencing data has played a part in recognizing these Marines because, and this is where I blend it to the data nerd, we are still capturing, there were 3,000 Mumford Point Marines across 1942 to 49, and we've tracked down about little less than half to recognize them and their families for the honor that they served in the military. So using data has been extremely helpful to target, locate, and honor these heroes. So that was my 3 minutes. Hopefully, I kept it to those 3 minutes.
No, you did, and that was a wonderful use of the 3 minutes. I feel like that deserves a clap. Here we go.
Congratulations,
Try
very
that again.
much. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Well, he has lots of positions in history.
All right. Then Costa, what about you? What is something you want to highlight?
Um, so I think this goes, really beyond healthcare. So one of the things, that I said earlier that I'm focused on is, reducing friction when it comes to data and analytics. And, I'm really serious about cutting out the middleman. We've had the four of us in our experience, right, in healthcare, trying to get anything analytical or data related is like pulling teeth, and it shouldn't be that way, right? And now with, the acceptance of AI shouldn't say the advent, right? The acceptance of it, because it's kind of been around for a while. Now it's becoming popularized. So how do we utilize those tools and all the wonderful things and capabilities of AI to do just that, reduce the friction, make it easier for things to happen? Um, and sort of started this whole series on LinkedIn to try and make AI relatable, right? Using pop culture references. We see references to AI throughout pop culture, dating back, to early sci-fi, right? So how has that influenced how AI works today? And what is, pop culture's influence on AI and what's AI's influence on pop culture? And how do we make it relatable so people actually understand it?
Yeah, I think you had a article on the movie Her, which I really liked.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I would encourage you to post the link on the to your series or if you, to the specific articles in the comments for both the video and then the LinkedIn post that goes live for this so people can see it as well.
Awesome.
Awesome. And then last but not least, our winner, Melissa.
So I had two directions I was thinking of going. I think I'm going to stick with authentic leadership. And, a lot of my career, probably the favorite part of my career has been being a leader and mentoring, right? Just having a relationship with folks at different stages of career, and listening to them, watching them grow, and getting to be a part of that. David, you're a big player in that for me, right? You were fresh out of college, and I knew David was something special when he decided to interview me to be his career counselor, not the other way around. So, but the career journey, your leadership journey is a very personal one. And I think earlier in your career, people often think, oh, I've got to look this way, I got to act this way, these are all the things I have to do to move up to be successful if I want a leadership path. And I think that the earlier that you realize that being your authentic self and being true to who you are, I say that, everything within limits, right? But being authentic, and that is actually the path to success. I spent a lot of years, honestly, before you guys knew me. So if you hear this and you don't believe me, I swear it's true. But trying to be what I thought a leader was supposed to look like, what they were supposed to dress like, how they were supposed to sound, how they're supposed to behave. And it never felt right. And I don't think it ever came off right. I think I was fortunate to have high performing teams, but I think when I really became the kind of leader that I want to be is when I just accepted that mold just isn't me, and that's okay. And that there are ways to be a leader without fitting into what you think the mold is. And I think that's really important for people to understand when they're on that journey, is understanding what are your goals, both personally and professionally, for your relationships, for your success journey, and sticking with those. I think having fun at work is a primary goal for me. If I'm going to spend this much time doing an activity, I need to be able to laugh and I need to be able to have fun. I need to have a safe and trusting, environment for me and my team. So I create one, and really try to only let people in who can excel under that and want that too. I just think those things are important, and we don't talk about them enough. We talk about leadership in strategic and business facing ways. But at the end of the day, while leadership serves the business, it also serves you personally and professionally. Again, you spend a lot of time at work, right? And how you get in your career, it's more and more time, it seems. And that should be fun, and it should be something you care about. A joke at my last place, I say a joke because multiple people said it in different settings, but was being a fierce advocate for my team. And when my boss said it, I knew it was a little bit of a poke, because I had gone to the mattress a little bit with him on some raises and some adjustments. And I think that at first I was a little like, oh gosh, I think he's and then I was like, I am okay being known as a fierce advocate for my team. Right. And so I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I think because the journey that I'm on right now is much more independent. I'm doing a lot more gig work. I'm doing contract work. And I'm enjoying it, and I'm getting to do things outside of healthcare, which has been exciting. And it's given me more flexibility than I've ever had in my career. So I like it, but I miss leading a team. I miss, let's sit down and figure out what we're going to build, and let's try to build it. And, sometimes we've been successful building what we wanted to, and sometimes we haven't. But we were in it together. And I just want people to remember that leadership journey doesn't always look like what the books say or what the leaders around you. It needs to achieve a goal. It needs to culturally fit in the organization you fit, or be culturally fit, or culturally be tolerated. I've probably been tolerated a couple times versus actually been a fit. And it needs to serve the higher good, and it needs to serve the good of your team, but really understand who you are and what you want from your personal and professional journey, and stick to it. And always reach around you to the team members around you, and be of support and assistance to them, right? And this has just been top of mind for me because I'm not in a leadership role for the first time in a really long time, and not even in a position where I'm viewed as an outside expert and an executive advisor, and that's great, but I miss having a team. And I think that when that's a journey for you, embrace it and find it and keep it and be authentic to it, and design your own journey, because I know I do not look like other executives at my level, and I'm really, really okay with it. I've had the good fortune to work with people like the three on the screen with me, and many more that I've worked with at multiple companies. and I have a true and deep love for them as people, as professionals. Like David, I was joking with David. I watched him grow up from fresh out of school and to a successful entrepreneur, and that's been amazing to be able to be on the sidelines and watch that. So I just think we need to think about leadership differently and less formally, and more about how a person can bring the best to their team in a way that might not look like the books say or the previous generation of leaders looks. So just wanted to rant on that for a little bit.
No, I love it, and you're the winner, so that's your
Awesome.
space, man. I appreciate the thought there, Melissa. And if any of you have ever worked or been around Melissa, you'll know that she is definitely the fiercest advocate of her people, and probably one of the greatest bosses I have ever had personally. And I don't say that just because you're the winner and because I
Or because I
pretend, or
sent you a check.
let's pretend that you didn't win the competition. It's not just because you were my boss before. I really do mean that.
I appreciate it, and you guys have always been a joy to be with. And again, I thought it would be fun to do the alone thing. I need to get back in and get back and find ways to work with those of you who are starting your own businesses and being able to build new or pull in my favorites to new teams, because I miss it.
So with
This was
that,
awesome,
that is
David. This was
actually
awesome.
the end of
Thank
the
you.
first episode. So
That's good.
but more seriously though, I do want to thank you all for participating. So to bring it back to full circle for you guys, the point of the game show is again to bring together really data nerds like us and give us a chance to showcase the things that we care about and the things that we're passionate about. I feel like more generally we don't get a platform to do a lot of stuff like this. So we tend to be siloed as data people, not be part of organizations that allow us to showcase what we're good at. So the whole point of the game show is to give us all a platform to talk about the things that we care about, both personally and professionally. So I'm really happy to have had you all three on the show, and obviously for any future people that are data professionals or just data interested people that want to participate in the show and meet other cool people, would encourage you to both sign up for the show, participate, and also obviously subscribe to every channel that this will be in, and like and engage so that it can grow and be a bigger part of the data community as a whole. So thank you all for participating today.
Absolutely.
Love it. Thank you for inviting us.
Okay, well, we'll see you guys next time, and like I said, love to have any of you participate, so sign up to be part of episode 2 of the game show coming soon.